I'm an idea guy who wants to start a new business. How do I find good developers to help me? Yes, I've definitely heard this question before, and really there's a couple different ways to approach this as far as answering it. The first is there are a lot more developers coming into the field these days than there used to be. And there's some great programs out there that are producing new developers coming into the field, and a lot of them. Dev Bootcamp is a program that I'm fairly familiar with. I know they operate in San Francisco and Chicago and New York and soon here in Ohio. And at each location, there are 20 to 25 new developers graduating every 3 weeks. So there's more developers than there used to be. In a lot of ways, the field is kind of challenged in terms of everybody is looking for developers with X years of experience. And what we have a huge amount of is brand new developers coming into the field. So there's a little bit of a gap there in terms of what the industry is looking for and what's going on in the field of helping new developers come into the field. And matching those up is something that we're interested in here at Gaslight, and I'll talk more about that another time as our plans come farther along. But hiring those new developers, I would encourage somebody who has an idea and some level of funding, that's important too, to just go show up at one of these courses. I know if you talk to Dev Bootcamp, devbootcamp.com, it should be pretty easy to find people to talk to, and they would be super happy to have you show up at a graduation day, meet some of the brand new developers. You'll get a chance to see what they've been working on for the last week or two of the program, and it's really impressive the kind of things that they're producing, and it's a great way to get to know developers, see what kind of things they can build, and talk to them about your idea, and maybe find a way to work together. There's certainly been a lot of people I've talked to that have an interesting idea and want a developer to work with them for equity in the idea. And that's really kind of a hard sell if you're a developer, because really when it comes down to there are lots of good ideas out there, and what really makes them successful as a business or not really comes down to the execution and implementation. So equity in an idea, not that there aren't ideas that are amazing and wonderful, but a lot of times the equity in just the idea is really hard to define and get behind. So that's one approach to the problem, is get some funding, hire a brand new developer coming into the field, and that's a good way to go. The other approach that's a good idea anyway is if you have an idea and are really interested in building a web app, maybe it's time to start learning how to build a web app. And there are tons of resources out there to start learning basic programming skills nowadays. I can't probably name all of them off the top of my head, but codeschool.com, I believe that's Greg Pollock's effort, and there's just some great fun courses on there. Some of them are free that you can go through to start learning some basic development skills. Codecademy, I think, is another one. Treehouse. I'm sure we'll probably have some resources that'll go along with this episode that we can provide links to some of these. But it's just a good idea if you're interested in building something in this industry, to have an idea how things work. Whether or not you decide that you like to do coding all the time professionally as your career or not, learning some basic programming skills will be a huge help in understanding and working with developers. So whichever path you choose as far as getting developers to help you, it's a really good idea to learn some development skills yourself.